Alright, chat. We haven't read to another scary in a motherfucking minute. Here we have, this shit is called 5 Disturbing Internet Mysteries Solved by Reddit. Feel me? I was just scouring by this channel. I think we reacted to one of his videos before, like a long time ago. Yo, that Discord needs to shut the fuck up or I'ma fuck it. But yeah, I think we reacted to one of his videos not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get it though. Get y'all blankets if y'all scared, because I know y'all some bitches compared to me. So, you know, sit back, relax, get comfortable, and yeah, let's get ready to react to some scary shit. Oh my God. Let's see some internet mystery solved by Reddit. Y'all ready? Check message. All right. YouTube, my sister just sent me something. All right, YouTube, hold on. She want us to rate her lip gloss collection. Fucking. So.
On the 24th of April, 2022.
God damn, this shit loud. Who the fuck turned that shit up that loud? I'm gonna beat y'all ass.
3 p.m., 10-year-old Lily Peters left her home to visit her aunt on her own. The aunt's house was just a 3-minute bike ride from Lily's home in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin. And since she lived with just her father, Alexander, after her parents' divorce, Lily often went to her aunt's house on the weekends to play around. So it wasn't unusual for her to make this journey on her own. Unfortunately, what started off...
You realize if I turn this light off, I'm black as fuck. You're not going to be able to see me. For example, you think I'm lying? This is going to happen. I'm black as shit. You can barely see me. Chat, can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? Do you guys should react to a video like this, or do you think I should keep my little ring light on? This does it. Look at this shit, man. Come on, gang. What is this? Look, you came in from, we can see you. Y'all can see me. For real. Y'all can see me. It's probably because the light on the fucking monitor, that's why. You know what? Fuck it. Alright. If I don't like it, I'm gonna turn that bitch back on. Let's go.
As an ordinary weekend was about to end in a horrific
shut
tragedy.
The fuck up. Be quiet.
Things took a turn for the worse when Alex noticed that it was getting dark and Lily
still
hadn't come home.
I'm black as shit!
It wasn't like her to stay out late. He called his sister, assuming Lily was still at her place. But, to his surprise, she told him Lily had already left over an hour ago. He then called the parents of Lily's friends, hoping she might have stopped at one of their houses on her way back. However, none of them had seen her either. Fearing for the safety of his daughter, Alex began searching the route Lily would have taken to and from her aunt's house. He also contacted the police and reported his daughter missing at around 9 p.m. While the authorities didn't issue an Amber Alert, they quickly formed a search party to help look for her in the surrounding area. And after hours of searching, Alex finally discovered the first clue to his daughter's whereabouts: her bike, abandoned in a nearby wooded area. But Lily herself was nowhere to be found. Police deployed drones and rescue dogs to search the woods and investigate the hiking trail that ran through the area. Then, at around 8:45 a.m., Alex received the news he had been dreading all night. Lily was deceased. A volunteer had discovered her body hidden under a pile of leaves just a few feet from the trail. After a brief examination, police ruled her death a homicide and began looking for the perpetrator. Unfortunately, they had nothing that could lead them in the right direction. That is, until someone made a post about Lily's case in the true crime subreddit. While everyone else was speculating on what could have happened to Lily, user HomesliceNation4 came forward with a crucial piece of information.
Why does the most craziest shit be happening on Reddit, gang? Yo, y'all can't see me. This shit get me mad. Why does the most craziest shit be happening on Reddit, or like the most craziest crimes and shit? It'd be crazy. Like the horror stories I done heard from Reddit are insane. Like dead ass, gang. Like I be watching these types of vids, gang, and I be like, damn. Like I was just watching some shit about Reddit the other day, like dead ass, gang.
In a now deleted comment that read, "What's scary is I was playing Pokemon Go in the park that day and walking along that very same trail. My stomach turns when I think that I saw that girl in a pink/purple hoodie on her bike with another
Stop
kid on
pausing.
my way out. I have a suspicion that it could be another kid that did it.
Yo, that's insane. Wow. What a fucking coincidence. So y'all ever been around like a crime scene area, or like when some shit had happened at, like you heard some shit like, damn, I was just over it. I have a couple times. Literally a couple times I have. Me and my mama and shit, me and my mama and little brother, this was years ago. We was walking to the store. As we was in the store, boy, a whole shooting was happening. Right there on the now, 79, a whole shootout was going on. We come back outside, we see a nigga hitting his arm, other motherfuckers hit, cars crashed, all type of shit, gang. Shit be crazy.
Another user called the police tip line to report Home Slice Nation for his comment. And to everyone's surprise, this was the breakthrough the investigators needed to solve the case. Because just a few hours later, police arrested Carson Peters Burgger, Lily's 14-year-old cousin, as the prime suspect in her murder. Not long after he was taken into custody, Carson admitted to everything. However, just what happened to Lily that night was more horrifying than anyone could have ever imagined. According to Carson, he followed Lily as she was heading home and told her to follow him into the woods. He'd been planning this for months. Once they were off the trail, he punched her in the stomach, hit her several times with a large stick, and strangled her until she took her final breath. He then went back home as if nothing had happened. But when he heard about the search for Lily, he panicked and went back into the woods to move her body further from the crime scene and hid it under a pile of leaves. Though, all thanks to one Reddit comment, he was thankfully caught. Given the severity of his crimes and the fact that it was all premeditated, prosecutors decided to try Carson as an adult. He's still in custody, awaiting his trial set for sometime in 2026.
That's insane, gang.
On May 1st, 2013, Reddit user ShadyBusiness15 posted on the What Is This Thing subreddit, seeking answers for a strange device he found inside his power strip.
GG's.
The post read, "Violently blew a fuse in my extension cord, took it apart to see the damage, and found this inside." Alongside this, the OP shared pictures of 2 circuit boards connected to...
Shaq, what would you do? Yo, circuit fuse, whatever, blows out and you find some shit like that. Yo, gang, I'm not gonna lie. That's a SIM card. That's a SIM. What the fuck? So is that a camera?
Each other with wires and what appeared to be a SIM.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, shit got me paranoid, gang. What if a motherfucker looking at me? What if a motherfucker got a camera one of my motherfucking outlets, gang? Oh, hell no. SIM card for like the camera for like memory and shit.
Card. He also cross-posted this in the Reddit Bureau of Investigation subreddit, where users noticed a microphone on one of the circuit boards and figured this was a spying device of some kind. With one comment providing more details about how it worked, stating, "Your extension cord is a room bug. Someone calls the phone number on that SIM and the extension cord auto-answers and listens to the room." Put simply, one of the circuit boards was a cut-down version of a phone that used the SIM to transfer audio from the built-in microphone. The second board was a power delivery module, allowing the device to run directly off of the wall power without needing any batteries. However, this raised more questions than it answered, especially about the OP's true identity, with some users speculating if he was involved in some shady business. After all, why else would someone go through the effort of planting a bug to listen in on his conversations?
Yo, Chad,
but according to a later...
You realize somebody's probably watching this right now and be like, damn, fo. Like somebody's probably in my stream watching right now like, damn, fo. This nigga black as shit. But y'all want me to turn the light off. I'm not white, gang, or light skin. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see shit. This is the most you getting.
Comment, he was just a normal university student who was living in the university's dorms, and that he took this extension cord from his home when he moved. But also mentioned that there are other people with access to his room who could have planted the bug without his knowledge. With this, the focus shifted towards finding out who planted this in the OP's power strip and why. Some users suggested putting the SIM in a spare phone, but doing so only deepened the mystery further. Apparently, it had a 10-pound credit, suggesting that it was being used at some point. However, it didn't have any contacts, voicemails, or call logs. And judging from the network messages, the device had been active since October 2012.
Yeah, you can see me, yay!
This also helped the OP retrieve the SIM's number, but calling it returned an automated message stating, "The service is now closed, and if you have voicemail, you can turn it on." Nothing else.
That's crazy.
The OP tried leaving it active in a spare phone as well.
Man,
but
I'll
even after days of waiting, he
be
didn't receive any calls or messages. It's
They be
possible the
watching
person who
motherfuckers in that
planted it
bitch
had
on
already
videos
gotten the
and that
information
too.
they needed, or perhaps they found out the OP had discovered it and decided to back off. In either case, the OP's only remaining option was to contact the Sims carrier, O2. Unfortunately, they weren't much help either. He would have needed a police warrant to access the call logs, something he didn't want to deal with. Without access to the call logs, the only real suspects OP had were his own parents. However, he didn't find the spy Sims number in either of their phones when he checked later.
Ugh.
This left a single possibility that's also the most likely explanation for the whole thing. Put simply, the spy device was never meant for the OP in the first place. As many on Reddit hypothesized, the bug was likely intended and used for corporate espionage at some point. From there, it somehow found its way into the OP's home. Maybe one of his parents brought it home from work or purchased it in a corporate clearance sale without realizing what it actually was. But by then, the device had already fulfilled its purpose and wasn't being used. Unfortunately, while Redditors were quick to identify and solve what the device was, they weren't able to find a concrete answer for who planted it and why. The last update
how
from
the fuck
OP
could you
was
ever
in
know
May
who
of
the fuck would
2013.
even plant some shit like
Chances
that
of
in the
getting an
first
answer
place,
now, over 12
Oh my God,
years
I'm black
later,
as
are
fuck again.
practically zero.
Oh my God, the pew pew. She's doing the pew pew chat. She's doing
On the
pew
morning
pew.
of August 9, 2018, 66-year-old Susan Rainwater set out on her usual cycling route in Eatonville, Washington.
Okay.
But unlike the countless times she'd followed
Chat, y'all
this
ever
routine,
went hiking before?
that day she
I
didn't
haven't.
come home on time.
I don't
Worried,
think I ever
her
will.
husband David Rainwater went out looking for her, only to come face to face with the aftermath of a tragic accident. Just off the side of the road, David discovered the
stab that
mangled
motherfucker.
remains of his wife's bicycle.
Oh
As
my
he got
God.
closer, he saw an injured Susan lying on the ground, not far from the bike. Sadly, it was already too late. Susan had succumbed to her injuries and passed away before
It's
David could
moving
get
for
to her.
story. Hell
He
yeah, it
eventually
is.
gathered himself enough to call the police, who after examining Susan and her surroundings were able to piece together what had happened. And according to their investigation, this was a classic hit-and-run case. Susan was likely
So,
struck from
She
behind
got hit by a car and the nigga just. Damn.
by a fast-moving car, resulting in her getting severely injured. However, instead of stopping and helping Susan, the suspect decided to save himself and fled the scene. Unfortunately, there were no witnesses or nearby
Chad,
CCTV
y'all ever been part of
cameras.
a hit and run? Those be the worst, gang. When the nigga hit your car and they speed. Oh, you know how many times I've been in the car and that shouldn't happen to me, gang? Niggas be real life hoes, gang. They don't be wanting to face no type of consequences, gang. I mean, in this sense, I get it. But, gang, this ain't like you just hit a motherfucking car. Gang, you just hit a whole human being, gang. A whole human being, gang. You just killed a whole human. You ain't just hit somebody's car and sped up, gang. You just killed somebody. Again, in a sense, I get it, because you like, oh, fuck, but gang, come on, folks. No, you
Leading
bogus as hell.
investigators with no leads to follow. The only clue they found on the crime
Real
scene
life
was this
motherfuckers
one
out,
piece
man.
of black plastic that likely broke off of the suspect's car from the collision. Investigators tried their best, but they weren't able to figure out what this was supposed to be, let alone what car it belonged to. With no other options, one of the troopers at the scene turned to the internet for help, stating, "Troopers and
internet always
detectives
gonna
are
help.
still looking for a black vehicle
Ain't
believed
that
to be
right,
involved
Chad?
in this
Especially
morning's
Twitter.
tragic
That's the best
bicyclist
place to go.
fatality. If you know anything regarding this collision,
Twitter is such
please
a
call the
wonderful
Washington
place.
State Patrol." While this post received little attention on Twitter, someone reposted the
brush my
query
teeth,
on the
y'all.
What Is This Thing
Congratulations.
subreddit, where it went viral and received valuable input from hundreds of users. And it didn't take long for Redditors to
left
figure
ass
out that this
irritated.
piece came from the car's headlight bezel, as it had the notch used to access the headlight adjusting screws.
That's calm.
However, figuring
Chat,
out
if
what
I'm ever like in a situation, if I'm ever disappear some shit, y'all find advice, make sure y'all go on this subreddit called What Is This Thing, alright? Alright, folks, because y'all love me, right? Okay, make sure y'all, like, you know, be on point on phone and grade. But I'm too calm. Nigga, I'm a grown ass man. Grown ass men don't get kidnapped. You got me fucked up. I'm a grown ass man. Fuck, I look like getting kidnapped. Well, technically, Wolverine be kidnapping me. So there's that. That don't count, though.
this belonged to was still going to be a tall order. After all, there are dozens of manufacturers with hundreds of different models. Not to mention aftermarket parts, which would have been practically impossible to track down. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, the post reached perhaps the only person capable of identifying the suspect's car model from that tiny broken piece.
Wolverine's my
2
fault.
hours after the original post was made, user Jeff's Nuts dropped a
My
comment
spelling.
that single-handedly
You ain't never
brought
gotta
the
worry about
search
your
to a
spelling,
close.
'cause I'm
As it
illiterate,
turned
so I know
out,
what
Jeff
you're
was a
saying.
state inspector in Maryland,
Rory will
where
tell
his
you, I'm
job was to
illiterate. He
make
knows
sure
I'm illiterate.
vehicles were up to code before issuing registration. So he'd seen his fair share of headlight bezels at work. And according to him, the piece police found belonged to a 1988 Chevy Silverado. After spotting the resemblance, users forwarded the information to the investigators, prompting a search for a vehicle that matched this new description. Then, just 5 days later, the state trooper announced what everyone was waiting for. They had located the vehicle that struck Susan and arrested its owner. The man responsible for her death was 37-year-old Jerry.
It's always niggas that look like this that do hair runs. I swear, it's always niggas that look like this, gang. Ain't this a suicide vest?
Thomas Simon. He first claimed that he had fallen asleep at the wheel and thought that he'd hit a deer instead of a person. However, his story later changed to where he knew he hit a person, but didn't get out to help because he, quote, did not want to see a body. It was clear he was just making excuses, since authorities also found a small bag of hard drugs in his car, suggesting he may have been under the influence at the time of the crash.
Hey,
in the end, he was sentenced to 4.5 years in prison.
Hey, chat, say,
not exactly a harsh penalty.
That's Mama Wolf right there. That's the woman who gave birth to me. I love her so much, and I'll do something to one of y'all for her. Hey, Mom, I'm black as fuck. Can you see me? They want me to turn the light off because you know we watching a scary video, but you can't even barely see me. I'm black as shit. You can only hear my voice. See, look, you can see my teeth.
For a deadly hit and run, but it is better than nothing. Especially considering that if the Reddit user Jeff hadn't identified the make and model of Simon's vehicle and posted his findings to Reddit, there's a good chance he would have gotten away with it entirely.
Yep.
In October 2024, someone noticed that one of their electrical
Help, is this a hint? I was just talking about this. Chat, I'm telling y'all, gang, check y'all outlets, gang. You never fucking know. Look at this shit.
Outlets in their home looked different from the others. It looked like it had a camera inside, but it wasn't super obvious. So they turned to Reddit and posted photos of the outlet, hoping someone would either confirm or deny their suspicions. They also explained their situation further in a comment reading, "I've had a stalker
my mama's my favorite mod of all time. Forget all y'all, she's my favorite mod of all time."
Apartment broken into in the past. I got a camera detector for peace of mind, not knowing it would read anything, but it led me to this and detected radio waves and reflected back with the infrared. The bottom ground looks different than the other GFC plugs in the rest of the complex. Right away, several people agreed with the OP in that something was definitely off about the outlet. Then, just 40 minutes after the post went up, one user confirmed the OP 100% had a hidden camera in their home by tracking down the exact model for sale online. And according to its product page, it's a wireless camera that could transmit 4K video completely over Wi-Fi.
Don't do that.
Given the OP's history with the stalker, the same person was likely behind installing the hidden camera as well.
Talking about me.
Many strongly suggested the OP get out of the house and call the police. Unfortunately, what happened next remains a mystery.
See what I'm saying, Mom? See that? See that? Look at that. What did I do? What did I do? See, Nightbot, you see that? Like, what did I do? Why do y'all keep, yo, no, gang, stop. That's not funny. Like, I'm about to cry. Like, why do y'all keep bullying me? Y'all know I'm a big back, I'm this, I'm that. Nigga, I'm just a man. When does the car, look, see? Look at this shit. Look at that, look. Like, I don't understand this shit. No, dead ass. No, gang, y'all gonna stop fucking playing with me, gang. What the fuck is this? Fuck you mean when does the car...
Mystery. The account that made the post was a throwaway the OP created solely for this purpose. And after confirming their suspicions, they never posted any new updates. In July of 2012, user Delver of Secrets Reddit account made a post in r/askreddit looking for answers on a strange encounter they recently had. It stated, "Today, a homeless-looking man handed me $50 and this note. Do any of you have any idea what it means? Dear Reddit, I work in New York City and was dragged into a very curious situation today."
What? Yo, what the fuck? Night 5. Yo,
I was
what?
taking the 1 train from Midtown to the financial district, and as usual, the train was pretty packed. I bumped into a raggedy dressed man as we got on, and he shot me a quick smile.
I'm on that with AI.
Nothing of it.
Better be careful, AI get on your ass.
Until he went to get off at 14th Street, and he handed me a $50 bill along with a note. Before I could even open my mouth to ask
13427 13600. What the
him a
fuck?
question, he was gone. Below you find pictures of both the front and back of the note. I've been looking at the note all day, and needless to say, I have no idea what it means. It's handwritten on a 3x3 square piece of paper with no identifying marks and no watermarks.
Is it Morse code?
There's a hand-drawn grid, and in a couple of spots the cells of the grid are combined. The note has random characters written throughout it, and the bottom quarter is filled with random shapes and numbers. Maybe I'm just reading way too far into things, and he was just another crazy New Yorker, but I figured it would be neat to see if anyone has run into this similar situation. Do any of you have any idea as to what the note says, if anything? After taking a good look at both the note and the $50 bill, some users figured out that the note was what's known as a bifid cipher, and deciphering it revealed a message that read, "There's plenty more money to make. Figure this out and prepare to meet July 19, 56 and 6 hot dog stand outside Rue 57 Cafe. Ask for Mr. Input." However, before anyone had the time to figure out the true meaning behind this note, Delver of Secrets received a coded message on Reddit. It was likely from the same guy that handed him the note earlier that day. When decoded, this message read, "You have managed to find the message with the help of friends. You changed the rules, now so will I. July 12, 4 p.m. Find the Blue Jay at 6.5 and 56 and tell him you are the last."
What the fuck?
This was packed with clues pointing in multiple directions. For starters, 6.5 and 56 corresponded to 6.5 Avenue on 56th Street in New York. And at that location, there was a salon named Gotham Skincare. This led many to believe that this whole thing was a marketing stunt.
They have some place named Gotham Skincare. I was just watching Batman today. He the GOAT. That's my father.
Something related to Batman. Especially since the date given in the original note, July 19th, was one day short of the release date for The Dark Knight Rises. One person even called the marketing company for that movie in hopes of getting them to admit the truth.
So basically, I was one of the people who got caught up in the whole homeless man gave me $50. We had to figure out some sort of code. So after staying up for hours and reading all the comments, I definitely came to the conclusion that this reeks of marketing campaign. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it's a certain company. Hey guys, what's up? Alright, so it's 9:16 here in New York,
GG, they done got this nigga.
I'm about to call Leveraged Marketing Corporation of America. If you look up the address that we're all supposed to meet at later today at 4, this is actually a marketing agency that's right next to it, so it just makes sense that it might be them. And the Dark Knight thing just makes sense too, because the movie's coming out so soon. And hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm calling to make sure that everything is going to be set up for the Dark Knight campaign later today.
What is the Dark Knight campaign in New York City?
Yeah, it's actually right next to your office at about 4 o'clock today, actually.
I see. Yes, I know that. Please give Margie a call. I'm
So this was for some marketing ass shit? For The Dark Knight? Golden movie, by the way. Very amazing movie. It's beautiful. It's a very good movie. I'm gonna watch that today. Wow. That's insane. Huh.
He just admitted to knowing about it. I don't know. You figure it out.
While this didn't lead to anything substantial, Reddit users found the next clue hidden within the Reddit message. You see, the username that sent the message was 222-0944379. One user converted this to an IP address, and it led to Fort Huachuca in Arizona, a military base that's primarily focused on intelligence training. So, could it be that Delver of Secrets was being recruited as a spy or something along those lines? For some, this was certainly a possibility. However, another user discovered that a spy exhibition was happening at the nearby Discovery Times Square Museum on July 12th.
Oh,
maybe this was a
wait.
marketing stunt for that instead. But this idea was also shot down by another user who claimed to work for the museum, stating that they had nothing to do with this. With no other leads, a group of curious New York-based Redditors decided to meet at the specified location on July 12th to see if anything would actually happen. However, despite dozens of people showing up, including Delver of Secrets, no one noticed anything out of the ordinary and had to go back in disappointment. Now, if this was some legitimate espionage-related matter, a large crowd would have instantly scared off anyone planning to meet Delver of Secrets at that location. So, the whole thing was kind of pointless in that regard. But on the other hand, the gathering all but confirmed that this wasn't some marketing stunt. Because if it were, the media attention and large crowd would have been the perfect moment for a big reveal that never happened. Then, something happened that no one saw coming. On July 13th, Delver of Secrets removed everything from his post and replaced it with a single ominous passage reading, "Received a phone call today threatening violence against me and my family. Going
GG's. GG's. GG's.
as far as to name members of my family and their addresses unless I delete this post." The caller also told me not to show up on the 19th and to inform anyone planning to show up on the 19th that nothing would happen. This will be my last message from this account before I delete it. I'll also be changing my number later today. I am sorry if a resolution to this never happens, but I'm not willing to risk my family's safety for a few extra dollars. With that, Delver of Secrets vanished from the internet. While Reddit did solve layers of coded messages and uncover clues hidden within other clues, they were ultimately left with nothing but speculation and an unsolved mystery.
Wow. That was a good video. That was a good fucking video. W fucking, let me turn this light back on. Holy fuck. W fucking vid, folks. W fucking vid. Shout out Chillin' Stories. That was a good one. See, I like shit like that, gang. Just ominous ass shit. Hey, chat, don't worry. We about to start watching a lot of these bitches again, chat. We getting back into my old motherfucking ways. Y'all heard? Y'all heard? Y'all heard on BD? Y'all heard? Alright, chat. Shit. Fucking, yeah. WVid, though. WVid.